Do you have wood that you want to level very fast and you don't want to go through the stress of using a manual hand planer? Your best shot will definitely be a power hand planer. A power hand planer is made to carry out many functions when you have adequate knowledge of its usage. The tool helps to carry out any task quickly, especially wood finishing. Power hand planers are very outstanding in leveling lumber, chamfering handrail correctly and smoothing edges of the wood. The power planer comes in two forms, the handheld power planer and the stationary power planer. If you are looking for a planer to use on a wide board, you should go for the handheld power planer. It is advisable not to use stationary power planer on wide boards. This is because the planer finds it difficult to plane large boards. On the other hand, there is no board that is considered too large for a handheld power planer. How to use a power hand planer on wide boards. Just like a manual hand planer, power planers function with a single plate, but its blade is attached to a cutter head. You cannot find this cutter head in the manual planer. The plate in the power planer is located at the anterior of the machine. It can be adjusted up and down when you rotate the hand clutch to give you a good result. Now, here are the steps. 1. Set up the board. If you want to use a handheld planer, the first step is to position the board perfectly. You have to locate an even surface that is larger than the board you are working on. The wood must also be steady while you are cutting through it. Place the board on an elevated area to give sufficient backing to the board. Additionally, straighten the board if it is not straight. Ensure that the board is convex so that the wood remains stationed. When you are positioning the board, make sure you use a marking gauge to outline the borders of the four sides of the board and showcase the board's most important parts. The reason for doing this is to make the sides to be equal from one edge to another. 2. Planing the board. At this point, you have to use the power planer to reduce the board to the marked spots you have indicated in the first stage. Also, this stage is all about smoothing the board to your taste. With the use of a winding stick, it is recommended that you flatten wider areas of the board. This will enable you to remove the crack on the wood. The right thing to do is to initially cut off 75% of the part of the board you want to smooth on the four sides. 3. Give the board time to settle. After the first stage, put the board away for a minimum of 2 days. The reason for doing this is to ascertain the actual condition. However, most people can decide to skip this procedure because they are eager to complete the work fast. There are chances you can jump this stage, but note that it is better for you not to work on the board for 2 days because of the positive results that come with it. Doing this will make the board get back to its original shape. Also, this will give you time to relax after a stressful period of working on the board. You will use the period to restore the energy that you must have lost while planing. 3. Sand down the board. When the board is ready, the next step is to sand it to conclude the smoothing. This is not too important, but if you don't do it, it is likely to make all the previous work that you have done turn out bad. When you sand down the board, it gives the board a finer finish. To sand down the board very well, you have to use a wide belt sanding machine. Although this machine is expensive, but you are sure to get good value for your money. The belt sanders function effectively like the common sanding machine to make sure that you have a very clean surface on the board. Safety precautions of power hand planer. You have to know the various measures to observe so that you will not sustain any injury while using the power hand planer on a wide board. Here are some safety tips you have to observe when you are using a power hand planer. 1. Always put on goggles in order to stop wood dusts from entering your eyes. 2. Ensure you buy good dust masks so that you will not inhale deadly chemicals found in the woods. 3. If you want to install new blades, make sure that the machine is turned off. 4. Make sure that the blades are fitted properly in their position. 5. If you are working with a power planer, ensure that you are holding it with 2 hands. 6. When you are not using the planer, make sure that the running blades are turned off. 7. Ensure that the working surface is even and without lumps so that the planer will function properly. Finally, power planers are automated planers that can be used to carry out many activities on the wood. They also reduce to a reasonable extent the time you will use in slashing plank surfaces. If you've enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button below and hit the notification bell so you'll know once we post a new video. Also drop a comment below so we can know your thoughts. Finally, don't forget to check the description below for more details and visit our site www.zimplaners.com for more awesome planer content like this.